Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the World Championships at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. A grand No. Before the grand finals, these two meet. Only one can survive, as the Italian Stallion did too well and denied us the Terran versus Zerg we might have been waiting for. But, nonetheless, two of the most capable and top two ranked players before Intel Extreme Masters. It will be no surprise for me to be introducing, in the top left, the 2018 World Champion, looking to reclaim his home world, no, his glory, his trophy, and be the first and most accomplished player to win $1 million in StarCraft 2. In fact, I think both of these players have already secured that with the tournament, but obviously more is better in many things, especially getting 3 games first in a best. Okay, it's Serral. You know Serral. It's Serral. The finisher. Nothing in particular he does better than everyone else besides everything else. A lot of the stuff that he does better is stuff that happens off the screen, away from the beautiful observers, because watching Serral inject perfectly on time while maintaining decent creep spread is not as hype as Maru's marine splits. Oh, I spoiled it. Now all the illiterate people will know. Well, all those illiterate people, make sure to hit that thumbs up. The rest of you, subscribe. It's going to be hard for them. Anyways, in the bottom right, the man, the myth, the Maru. The hero and villain of StarCraft 2 for over a decade, with an even longer career than his counterpart, actually significantly longer. Maru, one of the best Terran players since Wings of Liberty, whereas Serral kind of only came onto the scene around 2016, 2017. He is willing to try everything and anything, and he's better than most at doing it, so makes him about even with his opponent there. Reaper, the inevitable dance of, maybe he'll kill a worker. I guess he doesn't. And you know what, Jimmy? Jimmy! How many times? I said damaged health bars, not emotionally damaged health bars. No, you can't put a picture of you. Anyways, Queen comes down. Sir, come back here. The Reaper taunts them. You're gonna be nerfed next patch. Not that that would be particularly relevant against the first Reaper, but, you know, you'll take what you can get. Now, a production tab I think we're not unlikely to see multiple times in this series. 3 command centers for Maru. 3 command centers are back in style, and they seem like they're here to stay. They've been a regular choice for Terran players throughout StarCraft 2 history, but they've kind of been tempered by Roach All-Ins, Mass Zergling, sometimes Nidus for that fateful year where the Nidus worm was invulnerable. That was a rough time. But nowadays, Terran players have kind of streamlined builds to the point where if Zerg tries an all-in, it is very all-in. Relatively easy to scout, and while not easy to defend, leaves you with very little options. Whereas top-tier Zerg players are not going to bother with things like that. They're not going to risk it all letting a Terran try to micro their heart out. Instead, Serral, I think, he opens with Overlord speed. That is about the opposite of an all-in. He opts to get all the information, even though I'm sure he suspects that, or he suspected beforehand that it was going to be 3CC. He confirms it. Serral locks it down. Trust but verify. He now sees... Oh, 3-2-1-1. I'm sorry, I did not... I just assumed it was a 1-1-1. But no, Maru, a big fan of getting those Marines out in a timely manner. You want a piece of me, boy? We will see. The Overlords keep trading spaces here. Looks like this one will go down, but gets a spot and actually sees the starport producing without a reactor, as well as an armory in production. It looks like it's going to be a Marine Hellbat timing out of Maru to start things off. I think my feelings on Hellbats, and which are mostly negative, I'm going to put them aside, as I'm an objective and unbiased caster at all times. But an interesting choice against Serral, who has been scouting this the entire time and already has how many queens? 7 queens. The knitting crew is coming together. The queen moot is forming. Baneling's already in production. Serral's at 58 drones. And he counterattacks with Lings, denying the 3rd for now. That's a 4th hatchery right there. Yes, a little bit stim. One of the queens with transfused Hellbats coming through, but here comes Serral with the Banelings looking for an opportunity. The queen with a lot of energy is targeted. The Hellbats absorbing a lot of hits, but there's only a couple left. And it looks like they're just as terrible as I expected them to be. I mean, tough timing there. Maru not getting the damage that he expected with those units that are just not very good. I am a little confused. Maybe this is a... Well, I might do a Hellbat timing, so you gotta make your Baneling nest slightly earlier sort of situation. And one thing Maru has going for him, he does have the upgrades. And he does have an armory already done, which helps Widowmines and allows you to unlock that 2-2 preemptively. And of course, if you want some of the, like, maybe mech armor upgrades. Serral, on the other hand, his Evo chamber's quite late. Is he going for a Bane drop? I saw a Dropper Lord get morphed somewhere. Oh, a Bane drop, but on the Overlord that is already bruised from the Marines earlier. So, I mean, there shouldn't be any Marines ready for... Brenda! Where are you all going? Why, does anybody pay attention to the mini-map? I thought you were. Oh, no, go the other way! Oh my god! Jeez. Eventually, the creep will be... Queen, sometimes their own worst enemy. But Maru about to finish up that 1-1. Banelings, not nearly the threat they are for many lower-level players. Instead, just a juicy target for well-upgraded Marines off of creep. But the Baneling drop threatens. Those SCVs have no idea what's coming because they can't look up because of their robo-suits. But anyways, the Baneling drop. Oh! Now... Oh, and 10 SCVs go down. 4th Command Center is outright killed. Orbital burns. Will Maru lift it? The SCVs will retreat. Orbital. Oh my god, he might be able to zone out for long enough to make it burn. It looks like Maru will save it as he tries to do a dual prong push here, but Maru just blindsided by the Overlords. Serral primed him up by going for the Overlord patrols earlier. Right clicks through. Banelings connect with the Marines. The low ground tank push being ripped up. Okay, barely gets the tanks, but barely is good enough. So Maru gets beaten down at the front and the back. Right now down 30 supply, and that was with a 2 upgrade advantage. Serral finished his upgrades after both fights. While Maru started his 2-2, there's still a pretty big window of even upgrades. The worker count is not good either. Maru has kind of stumbled out of the starting block so far in this series. Yeah, he's got his infrastructure up, but Serral is taking the gold. He's setting up another Bane drop, the delayed Bane drop. I want to talk about, since Serral was sending in the Overlord speed, Maru probably wasn't paying as close attention to the red doll god. He brings it back. Don't waste it. Oh, tank's looking for a shot. Serral willing to make the trades. In fact, the orbital burning again. Never a great sign. Serral with full control of the map. And full control of game 1. Maru can work some magic, but I don't know if he has enough energy on anything to make that happen. Already murderous groups of Lingbane. The target fire attempt, not going to be enough, slurps up the Marines. But you can tell, it's a hectic time right now for Maru. The one thing he has going for him are the upgrades, and that Serral didn't rush Hive. He's just now getting the infestation pit. 10 minutes is relatively late for a player like Serral. The Queen's already ready to intercept, but the Marines will drop on top of them, creating a bit of an awkward impasse. Meanwhile, the other drop, Maru gets him out. Oh, the Queen's having a tough time. Marines gunning him down, but one of the medevacs is already down. Just minerals here. The Queens don't see it that way, but for the greater good. No lurker now. Serral always with the move command to try to get those Banelings up close and personal. Another drop. Serral now mining from the gold. I'm gonna open the income tab. It's not gonna look good. Wait, Maru is mining from the... Oh. Well, can you tell when the mules dropped? And also, just... the gold base has kicked in. Wow. Maru has taken a gold as well. Mules don't work extra on the gold. He's got a little bit of a Minecraft build happening now. And Serral didn't go for lurkers with his hive. And if there are enough Widow Mines, at some point... Oh my god, he burrowed everything. Bit of a misclick there. Kind of terrifying to watch all of that on burrow. The scan. Nope, nothing to see here. The Ling. Yeah, he gets it. And now he knows burrow is done. He didn't suspect it before. The sensor tower in a good spot. Serral is looking to smash. The Widowmine gets a good opening hit, but where is Maru? He's on the other side of the map looking for a trade. Down goes... Yeah, there we go. Planetary gone. Meanwhile, is there enough at home? Unburrows the mines. Maybe a little too late. The hatchery is down and he gets out relatively clean. Maru is working really well with what he has. Unfortunately, Serral cut him down so far, he's still got an uphill battle to fight. The Bane drop, maybe they'll live forever. Maybe, I don't know if Serral remembers those at all. Widow Mines always have an opportunity, but the Lurker Den has completed. I don't even know if there's a Ghost Academy, let alone... There is a Ghost Academy, alright. But no ghosts on the field as of yet. So if those lurkers become an issue, or vipers, or, well, just generally, ghosts are a great unit if you have the money. Serral does run the risk of overcommitting. It's not a huge risk. He's got an insane economy. He's got money in the bank. And remember that larva inject stuff he's doing that I was talking about that nobody ever follows while casting? Let's take a look at the Serral cam here as he chases all this down. Alright, did you see the injects? He decides to cancel some of these. He's still got plenty of larvae in the bank and he's maxed. Maru is building ghosts. I can confidently say very little with these two. I didn't want to commit. But Maru has dragged it back some distance. But he's still gonna struggle with the lurkers. Serral still has the economy and map control. Vipers at full energy. Ghosts nowhere to be seen, and not because of Cloak. That's still upgrading. Widowmine hits a Viper. Doesn't quite one-shot him, but very annoying. Maru continues getting pushed down under 150 supply as Serral maintains 200. He's so good at dividing up his forces. Like, he'll offer you just enough you struggle to chew it. It's like, oh, are you sure you can eat a piece that big? It's like, yeah, I can target those banelings. Oh, get over here! Wow, from downtown. Gets a couple of the medevacs. More Zerglings from the left flank. Maru trying to box out. Still struggling. SCV's finally back over 50. How many has he lost? 67-2. I'm sorry. What is that number? Maru has killed 0 drones, which is not really the number you're usually looking for. Oh, splits and stims. Meanwhile, at the front, the Vipers looking for an opportunity. Blinding Cloud on a handful of units. Is there enough to back it up? The Banelings rolling through, maximizing their effectiveness. This isn't a planetary. The SCV's a little late on the run. He will... Oh, Banelings connected with a little mine, or maybe the other way around, but another Viper down. Once again, Maru takes a rough fight. But not so rough he can't recover. Thing is, there's only so many minerals left he can safely mine from. He's building ghosts. 32 more Banelings from Serral. He is at risk of exhausting his bank here. Oh no. Did that Baneling drop ever come back in? It appears it did. Oh, and he burrows the Banelings and he actually gets a couple more kills. The Zerglings in the natural. They're not fully upgraded. Do they have adrenal glands? They do not. And without them, the Bio Army, especially with Medevacs, is gonna clean it up. They aren't the full... And Serral immediately starts adrenal glands, realizing like, that did approximately 12% less good than I thought it would. That is just so many Banelings rolling through as the economic hammer is brought down. Serral grabbed the lead after the ill-fated Hellbatman attack and never, ever let go. Maru, at the end, killed exactly 0 drones to 103 SCVs. That was about as close as it was ever going to get under those circumstances. I'm starting to think this Serral guy's pretty good. I know a lot of people have been sleeping on him. But I think he's got a shot here. Well, we'll have to see. Maru, I mean, it is Maru. Game 1, a lot of the time, especially in the longer series, that's kind of a throwaway build. Like, if it works, cool. If it doesn't, it is on Pride of Altaris as well. Probably, if not certainly, the largest map. Which means, like, you just try something. If it doesn't work out, well, this next map is almost certainly Maru's map pick. The next map is Blackburn, where you can slice it in half and then snipe down anything Zerg tries to challenge you with. Definitely more Terran-centric. We'll see. Going into Game 2. Now, of course, just because a map is favored a certain way or another doesn't mean... usually when maps are favored in a matchup, that means like 5%. Like 55-45. Not like 3 out of 4 times Terrans crush it on this map. No, that was Wings of Liberty. All right. Oh, yes. Just lift your command center to the gold on Metalopolis, Maru. Pretty sure he was one of those who did. And then build barracks that don't require depots and still somehow have a better economy than the Zerg. Ah, yes, the good old days, or so they say. Back when mules could mine 40% more, just like SCVs on a gold base as well. Oh my god. Oh, Steps of War, of course, where you siege up a tank in your main and it hits their natural. Not quite, but pretty close. Things have, just in general, players have gotten so much faster. Able to keep track of so much more. The game itself has gotten faster with starting with 12 workers. A lot. It might not seem like it, but think about it. There was 5 years with 6 workers start. It's now year 7 of starting with twice that. I remember when back in my day, I remember when Legacy of the Void came out, and people argued that 12 workers start would kill cheesing and make the game boring. To which, Maru's going 2 Rax Reaper in his main, which is a very... Okay, wait. Alright, Maru. Which is a very Blackburn build. The thing is, Serral's just gonna scout it. He has Overlords. This is kind of a... I mean... Maybe. I haven't quite... It seems like one of those builds that's so obvious that it becomes less good. This is what people did in the first week the map came out. It's like, aha, you can get Reapers across pretty quick. There are the Bubulas in multiple places, but like... Also an NG Babe block on the 3rd. So we'll see if we can get maybe Maru will try his hand at getting Reapers nerfed now. But overall, like... Oh, Brenda! Oh no, this is awkward. Wait a second, but... Well, that was not ideal. The Queen will die. Will all the Reapers get out? But those grenades could have been a little better. Almost losing a Reaper, so... Serral's just building a bunch of Zerglings with speed. Which is the counter. I'm wondering if I'm missing something here. Like... So when he gets speed, he might not kill the Reapers, but... Yeah, it's not gonna be great. Yeah, the Reaper micro, but now he's in the Bubulas. Which is kind of awkward. Okay, that's a 3D... speaking of Wings of Liberty, you know the last time I saw a Baneling bust all in? It, like... Well, here we go, the throwback game. Wait, is he just... that command center doesn't fly fast enough. Maru trying the NG Bay wall. What is this? He's got the good target fire, but now there's a... Well, this is a total disaster. What? Maru. Maru. Well, that is not really what I meant by a Terran map. Serral just whips out the Baneling bust straight out of 2012. Well, yeah, that... A poor choice out of Maru. I really don't know what he meant to accomplish with that, because he only went 2 Rax Reaper, and the Overlord was going to scout it. Like, there was no hiding it, unless you proxy, which would have been the only choice. So he didn't hide it. He just kind of built it slightly off to the side. But the second Overlord usually scouts for, like, the Reaper. Okay. Well... The game 1, like the Hellbat build, alright, that's... I give fair play. But that was... You know he's Serral, right? Like... Yes. Maru is still... Thank you for updating me. Maru's still, in 2 games, at 0 drone kills. I'm pretty sure he didn't get one. As Serral was on top of it from the start. So that is significantly less than your average. Wow. Okay, Serral starts out 2-0. We're on Hardwire, which is another very solid late-game map for Terran. Like, when I say Terran map again, I never got to finish my thought because then Maru slapped down a second barracks in his main and started building Reapers. I mean, any map with it where you can limit the attack paths and the run-bys, like Pride of Eltaris just has such big open spaces. And just the sheer distance. It makes it hard to divide your forces and not get overrun if they commit to one side or the other. Blackburn and Hardwire are maps where... Hardwire is the map. It is the Well, I guess we're gonna see how many minerals are on this map. That was eloquent, but I think more than any other, by an order of magnitude, we've seen the late game in many matchups here, as there's just ramps and choke points everywhere. Obviously, both these players know that, so we'll see. A lot of Zergs will try to just avoid it. They'll just try to stop it before it starts. The problem is, if you try to avoid it and it costs you too much, then suddenly you're in a very precarious position, resource-wise, in the late game. But I should stop thinking 20 minutes ahead, because Maru is thinking exactly 2 so far. Maybe. If that. Yeah, this is not a good start for Maru. Maru is not nailing it right now. Serral, on the other hand, is making it look like he's playing ladder. Up until this point in the tournament, by the way, actually, wait, this is... Yeah, Serral has not lost a game in this tournament. I think he's lost drones. No, I'm pretty sure he has lost drones at some point in the group stage. He didn't lose any games at all in the group stage. 10-0. Like, imagine going... I want you, my friend, who hasn't laddered more than 3 games in 3 years, I want you to imagine going 10-0 on ladder. Okay? 10-0. Against players pretty good, like around your level. And now imagine that 10-0 has already secured you like $30,000. But somehow Serral makes it look like another day at the office. Of course, the tournament itself is where I believe first is 170 or 200K. Jimmy, we need to look these. At some point, the numbers are just very. When I saw the group stage, I'm just thinking like, if I go 10-0 on ladder, this is possibly the best day of my life. Like, there's been a few days where I've managed that, but it has been incredibly stressful, and each game makes it harder and harder because, like, the mounting stress. Then again, I guess when you're technically smurfing on the rest of the ladder, it's not that hard either, so... There's a single-digit number of people that give Serral meaningful MMR. And most of them are here facing them. Overlord speed. Maru not going for 3cc. He's going to... Okay. He's going to speed boost his marine drop to chase down an overlord. And then another overlord comes in. Wait, what is that? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. About, well, wait. Oh, he comes in and he sees the fusion core battle cruiser. Actually, the most meta opener so far out of Maru. Serral is like, no, I know you're up to something. Nobody goes marine drop. That's not a thing. It's marine drop is to try to keep you busy and distract you for essentially anything else, really. Like, marine drop has a lot more potential to kill queens, or at least draw them out of position, than a handful of Hellions. Ooh, nice snipes on the tumors, but the queens are sitting there chugging Red Bull. All right, pre-block. Oh my god. He doesn't lose drones. The battlecruiser will have to kill drones. He's gonna get a drone. It's gonna happen. It happened. First blood. 50 minerals tomorrow. Well, kind of. Serral has now lost infinitely more drones than he's lost in the rest of the series. Get out of here. Might as well GG now, in my opinion. Meanwhile, the Overlord just checking up on him. Hey, what you up to? I'm sorry, one more time. Mech. mech. It's happening! Will Serral get the full... Yeah, he saw the factories. The battlecruiser jumps. The queen's in position. The queen moot has assembled. The drones are perfectly He just doesn't lose drones. Like... The queen's trying to shuffle out of there. And he... Oh, finally, Maru's just giving up and targeting drones. He gets 2 more. A battle cruiser... He gets 2 drones. All right, 2 drones and a queen. For a battle cruiser. Which, one of those things costs more. Obviously, he didn't lose the cruiser yet. Tries to come in, get some more drones. No, Serral's having none of it. Meanwhile, though... I gotta stop gasping. He does not cancel the 4th, so... a few minerals lost there, and technically a drone. Though I don't think it counts in the drones lost tab. So still avoids that. You know what they say. It doesn't count. You don't have to report that one. You only have to report drones killed that aren't buildings. Meanwhile, battlecruiser jumps back home. Another one building. It's going to be Hell clones. Hell clone build. Wow. Straight, like, this is a couple years old. Now another Hell bad timing, but this one I don't mind nearly as much. Just keeping Serral honest here. Even though, wow, just an entire King Henry of queens over there. 11 queens! But Serral is going for the mutas against mech, and cyclones are not that great at multiple mutas. They're good at taking out small numbers, but Serral's fully committing. The muta count right now in double digits. The cyclones cannot be built nearly as fast. Only a couple factories here. Yamato is being researched. We got a game. Wow. I mean, finally, thank you, Maru. Thank you, Maru, for finally showing us your true builds. He got the bio out of the way. Now he's flexing the McDonald's Terran. And I am loving it. More battle cruisers. That's cruiser number 3. Yamato coming in. Mech upgrades finishing up. Serral is adding on. Brenda, where are you? Come back here. More mutas on the way. I wouldn't want more than 20 to 25, which sounds like a lot, but that still leaves a lot of supply for anything else. And it leaves roaches, queens, obviously drones. If you go over 50 supply, Ricky and the boys, the swarm hosts, not an accidental click. No, intentional swarm hosts. We're breaking out all the units. I said I would stop, but I can't stop, and I will not stop. Because it's getting more and more dramatic by the tactical jump. Well, Maru at 83 SCVs, 170 supply, but swarm hosts. With Serral already setting up the Sporist and growing his defensive backbone. Battle cruisers with Yamato cannon. Did you know when they get Yamato, they have the like fancy lights in that cannon area? Yeah. I mean, how cool. Shiny cruisers. Well, here come the swarm hosts. No sensor tower to spot them. The first wave will be unleashed. The battle cruisers, in a very cinematic exchange, will try to defend against the swarm, but here come the mutas. Banelings crashing through whatever they can get a hold of. Mutalisk picking off what they can. There's really not that much splash damage here. The Widowmines were exhausted mostly on the Locust. I'd say off to a good start as Serral, but the swarm hosts are essentially dead supply for 2/3 of their lives as they're regrowing those Locusts, staggering them. The queens joining in as Serral will be the one essentially siege pushing Maru, who's going mech. This is Zerg mech, effectively, that Serral's playing. He's got Swarm Host Queen with static defenses pushing forward. The mutas are his mobility here. The Queen's pushing! Getting those transfuses off of creep while they can. Mutas looking for an opportunity. Yamatos chase them down, get a couple. But the battle cruiser's out of position to deal with this. He's building more cruisers. Just thought I would say that dramatically, so everybody gets the appropriate amount of excited. More banelings on the side. Serral just now starting his hive. Surprising for someone who obviously had an infestation pit for quite a while. Without Vipers, it's going to get harder and harder to actually break Maru's position. Of course, a good Swarm Host wave can turn the tides, but so far... Oh, here come the banelings! The planetary! Is that enough? No, Serral, where are you going? Come back. There you go. But the Locust wave. Hellbats to hold the line. Drops a few down on a Thor. A Thor would be a win. 18... Oh, Muta's in the natural as well. Nowhere is safe. Serral's hitting everywhere. Thors will lumber back home. Battlecruisers will do the same thing, but the flying version. Another Yamato shot knocks out a Muta, but 25 SCVs as Maru plummets to 75, which is actually kind of the number he wants to play mech with. Maybe a few more while he's mining from his main still, but that's about it. Like, he's at the... You don't want too many more than that. So thank you, Serral, you should be saying. Another wave of Locusts, but the mech ball should be... Well, he's using the Locusts as cover to get the banelings in, but neither of these are... Well, the banelings did a pretty great job. So it's a little confusing. It's unclear what's covering what, but the mutas are fighting the turrets straight up. They have +2 attack, so they're shredding those turrets. They don't have Neosteel armor. On the other side, battle cruisers looking for any damage they can get, not bothering with Yamato. Does he even have ship weapons? No, he has +2 armor, though. Oh, that battle cruiser needs to jump back home. Muta's getting chased down by Thor. Swarm Host still hanging out. One Cyclone in a precarious position. The battle cruiser's just targeting the hatchery. Mutas are flying home, but even they are not necessarily enough to deal with this. Oh, you gotta jump. You gotta jump, Maru. Maru! Not even close. Everybody calm down. That'll be that for now. Both of them regroup. Neural Parasite finishing for Serral. Serral. A scan looking for anything down to the side there. I think a sensor tower. Yeah, sensor tower is about to finish. Wow. These are the units you put on the box. We've got a planetary with a bunch of turrets, battle cruisers, and Thors. Is this Bronze League Heroes? Well, Swarm Host actually being microed at all tells me it's not. Yamato Cannon knocks out anything that gets close, and Serral needs to kind of rethink his options now. Because Serral now has lost a couple thousand more, surprisingly little gas. Most of it in Mutas and Banes. But this is a maxed out mech army. It's about to be 3-3 as well. It doesn't get better than this. This is as strong as it gets without, like, ghosts and liberators. But the Mutas... Speaking of, a Ghost Academy. Corrosive Bile. A big wave of Locusts, though. It feels like there's not enough here for Maru. The Locusts helping to clean things up. The Banelings just rolling through, trying to tank as much damage as they can so the real damage units can get there. And the battle cruisers nowhere in sight. They came back to chase the Mutas. Serral cleans the army up. Gets another Thor. A decisive victory for Serral in the midfield. Now this is happening. Oh, he fires a full volley! Broadside across the Swarm Host, but you gotta be... Wait, do they have tactical jump? They do. They can do whatever they want. Without... Well, there was pathogen glands for infestors, but I don't think there are any infestors, so... Yeah, he jumps away. Back to safety. A Nidus marginally outside of sensor tower range. That'd be an interesting revelation there for these Hellions. Oh no, Hellbat mode is needed. Oh, smart servos. Is it good enough? Well, there's nothing in the Nidus, so. But he drags his attention away. There's not much here to deal with this. The Ravagers take out the only tank. Another Nidus at the edge. Serral actually using reinforcing Niduses, which is something I think is kind of unexplored in SC2 right now. Oh, God. I think walking up a ramp into siege tanks has been thoroughly explored, though. And Serral doesn't need to recheck the work of many players before him. As those Ravagers had a real rough time there. It's kind of hard to tell how well the siege tanks are doing until your army suddenly is nearly non-existent. Ravagers just not the choice unless they get a huge concave. You just can't bring enough to bear. Well, planetary isolated. The units are committed pretty far back here, but yeah, he gets the planetary. Serral, you can tell, is starting to be a little more... he's understanding that he doesn't have unlimited money. He's no longer trying to trade constantly, but instead picking fights he can win. Yeah, we got... I love how Maru is adding in ghosts. Ghosts are required. You need those ghosts. It is the late game. Like, the unit that is so good, they almost made another game for it on its own. Yes. Without the ghosts, it becomes easy enough for spellcasters and swarm hosts. The ghosts are actually pretty amazing against locusts with auto attack as well. Oh my. Is that enough? Jump. He loses a battlecruiser for a hatchery, and meanwhile the Ravagers... Yeah, just spraying and praying the corrosive biles out there. At some point, yeah, if you have enough, you have to hit something, right? Serral's starting to bank money. What are we looking at from him? I think what we're going to see is Serral encourage Maru to focus more and more on ground, and then hit him with a big Broodlord switch. He's continuing to upgrade air attack. And he's getting the rest of the ground upgrades. It looks like Serral wants to bait Maru into a mostly ground army. Is there a Greater Spire? Yes, the Greater Spire is actually done already. He's got some infestors. Serral! Oh. Yikes. Just put the Corruptors over them. He definitely knows. There's no way Maru did not notice those. He's already got 13 ghosts. He's got more ghosts than any other unit. Wow. Just the casual ghost. He's only going for armor and upgrades on his bio because he wants to make sure those ghosts live as long as possible. Battlecruisers will jump preemptively to defend against the locusts and will intercept them. What are the ship weapons upgrades? Yeah, Maru doesn't actually have ship weapons yet. He's upgrading it now. 2-2 melee finishes for Serral, as we're kind of filling in the rest of the blanks on the upgrades tab. Scans across the board. He has 6 orbitals, so he can almost scan on cooldown. Oh, this is a much scarier army than last time. Those are ghosts. But, you know what's good? Zerg Thors! Snipes across the board! Maru unleashes his aimbots! The Thors are countering the battlecruisers, but the ghosts win the day! EMP lands. A fungal will delay the chase, but the full volley of snipes just decimated Serral's army. It was so much. That was so much damage from the ghosts. The battlecruisers mostly survive. Some of the traitorous Thors will be forgiven. Swarm host force Maru out of the left side, but there's not that... I mean, eventually he's gonna want... He targets the sensor tower. I love it. Alright, Serral, teach me. This is the stage of the game against mech players where I, in my infinitely lower MMR games, also struggle. Usually they don't even have that many ghosts. It's just any EMPs make the... Oh no. Oh no, Ricky! Look away, Zergs, look away. Oh, well, that was not a cost-efficient use of Stormhost. They had gotten a lot of work done, but that was not good. Well, so more Niduses. He gets a base, but here is Maru as well. We're on the high ground, dropping the hammer. Where are the ghosts? The Infestor just chilling. This is kind of the late game strat. Zergs pray their Infestor doesn't get scammed. That is a lot of the late game. Oh, the Corruptors. Target down. The battle cruisers get ambitious and get a Yamato off, and that'll mean that finally Hellbats will kill drones. We'll just sit there. Charbroiled. Charbroiled. How have I not used that one before? Anyways, 13 Broodlords. I mean, at this point, Serral doesn't have the bank. He's got down to 44 drones. So, the problem with Broodlords is that's the army you go to close the game out. It is not a let's hold the line sort of army. They are, the longer the Broodlords are on the field, and the better economy your opponent has, the harder it is to actually get things done with them. And Maru, I mean, he's not doing amazing. He's not maxed out. He's adding on, I don't know where he's getting the minerals from. I mean, I literally do, but I don't know how he always has so many minerals, is a better way to put it. The Scouting Infestor, the Broodlords have got to get it done. There is no rebuilding this army for Serral. He has no gas with which to do so. He's only mining from 1 or 2 bases of gas. This army costs 5,500. Wait, what? Did he just EMP the ghosts? I'm sorry, Jimmy, what was that? Instant replay. Well, this is one way. As we all know, the best way to play Zerg in the late game is to pick Terran. He EMPs the ghosts! What a play! And that's... Yes, the best counter to ghosts is indeed ghosts. Serral figured it out. That Infestor was looking for the opportunity for so long. And now suddenly, there's only like 4 or 5 snipes. There's a limited time. The energy's recharging. It's very unlikely something like that will happen again. That's a once in a tournament sort of play. It's one of those that is like a Twitch chat challenge. Because it's so rare you're able to find all the ghosts in a spot without detection and actually pull it off in time. And Maru almost killed it before he could land it because of the scan. But the Broodlords have to go. You can't pull back. If you pull back, all that Infestor's work is for nothing. The ghosts are just sitting essentially in the middle of nowhere now. Right now, this game looks like it might end with not a bang, but a whimper. As Maru just, like, Serral did not capitalize on the ghost play there. Because the EMP doesn't kill ghosts, it only makes it a little more annoying to deal with the broods. There is no economy left. He's on 1.5, he's on 1 base-ish. These Broodlords have to do it. I'm not even sure where things went wrong, it's just they never went right. Well, the tanks are having a tough time, but Maru doesn't have gas, but he does have enough command centers to replace these bases. This is gonna be it. Here's the big fight. Fungal on the front line. The Broodlord's pushing through. The Infestor's gotta get something done. You gotta be careful. The tanks target firing down the Infestors. How many are left? There's 1. What? Which is not very many. Meanwhile, tanks are just blasting through back at home. There's nothing to challenge them. The Thors and Ghosts. a custom-tailored army for countering broodlords. +1 infantry weapons on the way. Maru, this game has kind of been whittled down here. One of these slower, gradual declines. The income tab starting, well, it doesn't even go back far enough. We're 25 minutes in now. The Greater Spire is taken down. Not like Serral could afford any more broodlords. He comes back home. Maru is well, remember when I talked about counting minerals? Serral is gonna try to make this work with just one base. The Hero Fester. He needs lightning to strike. He needs EMP to strike twice. Oh, the snipes. You cannot turn your back. Where is that infester? Oh no. There's so many ghosts that the broodlords can't actually interrupt. And remember, yeah, Serral picks the fight. It's just, it was over before it started. It's unclear where exactly it went wrong for Serral. But it's just such a tough map to close out the game. And Maru held on, and he really, like, when he went ghost, he went ghost. From the time he started building them to the time they were the most common unit in his army was like 2 minutes. So Maru knew what he wanted, and he knew how to get it. Especially after he lost that first army out on the field. So Maru turns it around. Jimmy! Well, when we get there... Oh my god. We're selling out. Like and subscribe. Oh yeah, the valley that killed the swarm house. That was like... That was a unsanctimonious ending to that game. But Maru drags it out. And he beats Serral with experience. And also Ghosts. Very much Ghosts as well. Key point. Well, it's not a sweep. Serral has now lost his first game in the World Championships. Now we just need a couple more. Maru. Well, we'll see what he breaks out. That last game, the battlecruiser build. Battlecruiser builds are still very good. The thing is about the flying laser bathtubs, you can't really do anything about it. Like, there is no direct counter. Zerg just does not have anything that directly challenges the battlecruiser in the early game. The queens can angrily shake their knitting needles in the general direction of it. You can try to outright kill the Terran and their economy with some sort of timing. And, of course, the battlecruiser precludes going for, you know, almost anything else, as it's one of the most... It's actually the most expensive unit you can make more than one of. That's true, right? It's more expensive than... Especially for Terran, obviously. Well, definitely for Terran. I'm not sure if the total cost of a Broodlord is higher than a battlecruiser. Mothership is slightly more expensive. Alright. Well, Berlingrad is not the map to sit back and make ghosts. Not that Maru can't do it, but just compare the choke points of Hardwire to the open, lush, okay, not so lush, like greenish spaces of Berlingrad. Like, you got almost a screen of open space out in the midfield, as opposed to ramps up and down, side to side, cliffs, overlooking your expansions. Like, it is a lot harder to lock it down, especially with mech in the later game. Deja vu. I'm getting intense deja vu right now. I'm pretty sure. Am I a crazy person? Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen this before. This has all happened before. Oh, I played a game like this. I did this exact thing. I'm pretty much Maru. Literally. Wow. Okay, moving on. I'm like, have I already seen this game? No, earlier today, I literally... on this same map, in these same positions, the exact same scenario, with a drone at the third, and it was really freaking me out. Like, I'm losing it. Anyways, I did lose that game, so that does not bode well for Maru. I'm sure he's taking notes in the past. Don't lose. Pro tip. I don't know how many drones Serral... Well, Serral ended up losing dozens of drones last game. So far, none. No, not even first blood in this match. It is back to 3 command centers. Viking to kick things off. So this is full macro. This is about, like, Viking first, Hellions, not even a... Don't just let him in. Like, come on in. As you can see, let the inspectors in. Definitely hiding nukes. All right, we're gonna need to bring our queens over there and make sure. Like, no, you said they're not. It's 3 CCs. He barely has. He just started his 2 gas. He doesn't even have a tech lab. Nope. Probably nukes. Like. Well, this time not Overlord speed. And I mean, if you get a Ling in, that's much cheaper. There's nothing to really slow Serral down, though. He's mined through the mineral wall here, interestingly. A lot of Terran players will try to use that against you, but Serral is not letting that happen. Will we take down the rocks as well? A lot of players don't do the due diligence of taking down those choke points. Even on this map where they do exist, you can actually remove them pretty easily. That's a lot of Hellions. Not enough to commit and just go all in, as right now they're covering for the double engineering bay. I'm not sure if that was about the same time as the additional racks, but Maru is going like 70 SCVs into full-on marine. Will it be tanks? Or will it be mines that he opens up? Because tanks are more of a 2-2 situation. Whereas mines are, I want to move out with my first medevacs. Is usually the choice. Baneling speed on the way. Or does he just not bother with factory units because his add-ons were built for the barracks? I take it all back. What is that on the... Oh, tech lab. The creep is already pretty oppressive here. Upgrades have started for Maru. Serral has... Wow, that's... There we go. Queen just enough range. Wait, that Hellions are on a weird side of the story here. Maru is... Well, he's going to be able to max out very quickly at this rate. And he's lining up. This is about as macro as it gets. Oh my god. There's been a handful of Zerglings and like a Hellion. Well, that Liberator actually is the only unit. The Viking is a strong gust of wind away from dying. The Zerglings working on the rocks, but I'll be chewing on them for a bit. Double medevac drop, creep control drop. Just throwing whatever he can off to the side. But Serral is not slacking. Not known as a slacker, that's Serral. Medevacs slurp up the Marine. But Brenda, there's no creep in the main! But that doesn't matter as Baneling speed is already done. Baneling speed being prioritized means that all-out attacks are pretty easy to shut down. But the drops will be annoying and pretty cost-effective. 4th command center on the way. Match point, and they're both willing to take it to full macro here. Maru going bio, of course. You can see his literal production lines. Does he not have an armory? He did not go for armory. He did now. I don't know if that's a mistake or if he was just focusing on his production, but like, his 1-1 is done, and he's losing his potential 2-2 advantage every second he doesn't have that. The creep is disgusting. Like, what is this? We are 8 minutes in. Serral is more than half of the way across the map right now. And spreading it across the entire map as opposed to just directly down the center. Serral can see, he has nearly 50% of the map in vision passively right now. Oh my. Well, that's the party does it. Surprise! Fourth command center will land. 2-2 starts. For Maru, Serral shouldn't be far behind, but he prioritizes a lurker den and a hive. Those two, essentially two sides of the same dangerous coin. More rocks. He also hates rocks. As many Zergs do. Have to run on them, around them. Very annoying. Sharpen those claws. 2-2 starts for Serral. Only going to be about 20-30 second advantage for Maru. Oh, no. No, no! There are no Marines left. Let the man watch. Yep, those medevacs see exactly what's happening. That's pretty much Serral saying, what are you going to do about it? This is my map. Queens kind of tripping over each other here. It's actually going to cost him a couple. Oh, gotta be careful. That tank on the low ground. But here comes Serral. Wrapping around the tanks. Finds the 4th. He kind of just waited till the planetary finish. He just wipes it from the map. It's gone. You're going to rebuild. It's a little early for that. Nope. That's going to be a no. Serral just on top of it. I don't know what Maru is supposed to do here. Oh, come on! Oh, have some respect! How is this Viking still alive? Like, oh, there it goes. A burrowed Zergling on top of everything. Look at this line of creep. He's marching the creep forward. 3 on one side. 3 on the other side. And 3 for the dwarves. Or something like that. I don't know. The other 3 are reserve tumors. At this point, how many creep tumors? 87! Oh my god. Oh, Brenda! What are you doing? The queens are just patrolling the creep around. Oh my god. He's gonna have over 100 creep tumors. He's metastasizing! I mean, it's both players are maxed out, but Serral it's his map. The Banelings are trading. They only get 1 attack if they find good connections. Like, Maru's getting pushed back. Maru just has nothing. His supply is just gone. Everything's gone. Serral is smurfing in the World Championships against the #1 Terran. He's now got 100 creep tumors. He's chilling. 500 APM. Casual, like, scratching it 4 digits. Oh, yeah, there we got 1,600, you know. As he slaps out 16 more creep tumors. This is like a warm-up game. Maybe if Maru gets enough ghosts, but this is very much unlike the last game. He doesn't have the army to back up the oh my god, there's 55 banelings. The Vipers get EMP'd, but who cares? Like, banelings can't be EMP'd. I mean, they can't hit it. What are you gonna hit? He's looking for a target. Maru is SCV microing out of the planetary before it dies. Wow. Oh, come on, Serral. Oh, no, I mean, I feel like at some point this is BM. Like, his creep is approaching the natural. There's creep in Maru's natural. From tumors. Yeah, he finally finds a scan. There aren't like 15 orbitals to use. Serral, just max out on banelings. He's got 68, which is approaching the number he's looking for. The queens will lead the charge. Here comes everything else. Banelings are morphing in Maru's third. Serral does not care. Maru cannot stop him. He's coming for everything. Split cloak, whatever. Get out of here. Serral 3-1. And it wasn't very close. Wow, that was a stomp. I mean, the game on Hardwire was back and forth. Serral trying some things. But that is definitely the Ghost Turtle map. Everything else was all Serral all the time. That game did not look like even the same league. Maru tries to go toe-to-toe, and Serral cuts off his legs, picks up his foot, and beats him over the head with it. Wow. I'm starting to think this Serral guy is pretty good. If you agree, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, and check out. I'm sure you can probably find a few more Serral videos on the channel. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.